All right, cars are out on the racetrack for the 38th annual Amoco Knoxville Nationals. Here is your grid as we get set to race for $100,000. Jack Hodenshield and Sammy Swindell on row 1. The Dude and the King in row 2. Jeff Shepard in the Mopar and Paul McMahon in row 3. Donnie Schatz, the youngster, and Kenny Jacobs, who's been having a great season with the All-Stars, in row 4. Gary Brazier and Dale Blaney, can he make it 2 $100,000 paychecks in a row? Johnny Herrera's won a track championship here. Skip Jackson's dominated here the last 2 years. Lance Blevins and the Hurricane, Randy Hennigan. Greg Hodnett and Tyler Walker, the young upstart from California. Fast Freddie Raymer's been killing them in Pennsylvania. How about tonight? Gary Wright alongside in row 9. Hillenberg and Swindell, Mark Kinzer in the working car, and Tim Schaefer, Joey Saldana, and Stevie Smith in row 12. $24 cars, $100,000. It's the 38th annual Amoco Knoxville Nationals and the traditional 4 wide.
Look at the flash bulbs going up. Ralph, I've got goosebumps. I mean,
you're not alone, buddy. You are not alone.
This is it. Look at the flash bulbs going off. People going crazy around here. Here we go, Ralph. Getting ready to go green.
The 38th annual Amoco Knoxville Nationals set to go for $100,000. We got Freddie Raymer bringing out the red flag over in turn number 1. Danny Lasoski had the lead all the way down the backstretch with Jack Hodenshield as he had just passed him going into 3. Sammy was up to 3rd, and Raymer flipped in 2. And
Lasoski from the 2nd row to the lead in 1 lap. Wow, he has got to be very excited. Probably disappointed right now that the red came out, because now he'll have to go back. It'll be a complete restart.
There's Danny. Raymer, who has 26 wins this year. In fact, he went on a streak of 13 in a row at Lincoln Speedway in Pennsylvania. And then Raymer into the wall.
Boy, you know, he had suffered a severe concussion at Lernerville World of Outlaw race earlier this year. Spent a couple days in the hospital.
Look at the tail tank flapping around to Bobby Jarrett.
Ralph, the winningest driver in Knoxville Raceway history, got a great start, Danny, and I know you did not want to see that one. We hope Freddie's all right, but you didn't want to see that.
No, we really didn't. We got a good start. The Speed Packer car felt awesome first lap. I just hope it feels like that the next 29.
Can you really tell something in just that short a time about your car? You're not telling your guys to touch anything, I see.
Well, when you go in the first corner, you usually got a full load of fuel, and you know, kind of hot, takes the air off your car. And it rolled the first corner nice, so I'm not going to touch it.
Sammy Swindell getting ready to go out for his restart. Tell me about that first one. How was it?
Well, it wasn't the best for me, but, you know, Hod kind of slid across there and slowed us both down a little bit and left the door open there for Danny on the bottom. And we'll just have to see if we can do a little better here this next time.
Obviously, the strategy changes now. Any insights what you might do here on the next green?
Well, it depends on where I'm at and where the other cars are as to what I can or can't do.
Never can tell till that green flag flies, guys.
Here we go. We're going green with the 38th annual Amoco Knoxville Nationals. Off the turn number 2, it's Sammy Swindell. As the field makes its way down into 3 and 4, Sammy will lead the first lap with Jack Hodenshield right behind him. Then it's Danny Lasoski up to 3rd. Steve Kinzer runs in 4th. Paul McMahon in the Mopar is 5th. Dale Blaney up to 6th in the Amoco car.
Now Hodenshield tried to move down. He saw Sammy running the extreme bottom. Actually driving away from him a little bit. Jack moved down there to try to copy it and actually lost a lot of ground. Let Danny Lasoski close right in on him. Sammy's definitely working better right now than Hodenshield, because he can stick on the bottom there, and as we saw, Jack went in and slid clear across the top.
You see the mile an hour, 105 miles an hour for the 1 car of Sammy Swindell. Andy Hillenberg in the black 2 on the bottom, trying to work around the bottom with Tyler Walker coming with him. That's for 10th.
See Andy getting the left run up on there every once in a while. We've got a spin down in Tyler Walker's
Tyler
run.
Walker in turn 2. Steve Evans.
Sammy Swindell said before the race started last Tuesday, I'm going to run every lap as hard as I can, from time trials as far as I go. Last year I came in here and I thought I'd be conservative. That didn't work. I got punted out by Mark Kinzer. I'm coming back like an animal. I'm coming back like I was 18 years old.
We're green. Sammy gets a pretty good jump, but Hod gets a better one.
Well, let's see if he can make it stick. Yes, he does.
The wild child, Jack Hodenshield, jumps into the lead, but Sammy comes storming back at the bottom. Daniel Lasoski runs the bottom as well in third. Steve Kinzer's fourth. Paul McMahon is fifth. Then it's Dale Blaney and Kenny Jacobs.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sammy is strong right now. When you can run the bottom like that, where a guy on the top with momentum can't get back around you, he is strong.
Well, look at the speeds up here. 105 miles an hour for Sammy. Almost 106.
Versus 103 there for Hodenshield. That shows where that 3 mile an hour is, but Jack's coming back around. Not giving up. Boy, what a great racetrack. These guys, you get hats off to the crew here at Knoxville to have a nice bottom groove and a nice top groove on the 4th night of racing on a dirt track. As Hod's trying the middle there.
Here's Andy Hillenberg fighting with Donnie Schatz for 8th. Back up front, Sammy and Jack Hodenshield battling it out again. Jack Hodenshield's only made the podium here one time. Hard to believe.
Sure is. Especially with, you know, we've heard us, he's won all 5 World of Outlaw races here this year. Battling back. Now Sammy's moved up a little bit. Sammy was running real tight in the bottom. He moved up in the middle.
And now they drop back to the bottom. And Hod runs through the middle. That seemed to work pretty good for him that time.
Oh, he
almost smacked the wall,
yeah,
didn't he?
got over the cushion just a little bit. Now Sammy goes to the
Oh, we
top.
got one around. Jeff Swindell, younger brother of Sammy, spins over in turn number 2. What's this doing to these drivers, Brad, as we go a couple laps and then we have to restart them? Like,
It drives you nuts. It drives you nuts. You just want to get out there and get your momentum going and race. These yellows can really frustrate you.
good start for Sammy and Jack. Horrible for the rest of the field as these two got a big jump on him.
Boy, but Hod really turned it sideways getting into 3. About lost it there. On out and let Sammy get away from him a little bit. But see this? Sammy moved clear to the top.
Lasoski still running the bottom, though. Steve Kinzer up on top in 4th.
This racetrack is going to change considerably. This is only the 8th lap out of a 30-lapper. So this track is going to change. Positions are going to change.
Look at the dude coming on from 3rd. Danny Lasoski and Dennis Roths. Beef Packers, Tom Johnson RV Center 83 up to 2nd place running the bottom, Brad.
Again, like I said on Sammy, when you can run the bottom and drive by guys, but you can see there's a lot of moisture right there in the middle of 3 and 4. And down that shot we saw coming out of turn 4 with our camera, you can see the brown. Anytime you see the darker brown, that's where there's moisture. Where you see the shiny stuff, that's where the track's real slick.
Lasoski is flat flying, Brad. He is up to 103 miles an hour, 2 miles an hour faster than the leader.
And right
he's going to come take the lead.
Look what that 2 mile an hour does for you. Now Sammy has to be scratching thinking, no, wait a minute. I didn't think there was anything on the bottom. Now Lasoski shows me there is.
And remember on Wednesday night, these two almost came together as they came to the checkered flag and the A feature on Wednesday night. Dude was coming up to challenge Sammy for 3rd, and Sammy dove down on him. There's the Dennis Roth crew and crew chief Jimmy Carr watching.
Oh, and Danny
missed. The dude comes up to battle for the lead.
He missed the bottom getting in just a little bit there, Ralph. He wasn't as tight getting in, and he lost a lot of track time there to Sammy.
The winningest driver in Knoxville Raceway history, Danny Lasoski, has never won the Amoco Knoxville Nationals. Sammy Swindell, one of the greatest ever behind the wheel of a sprint car, looking for his 2nd. What a great battle we have going on here tonight.
Okay, but look at the bottom right there. It's real fast, but coming off, you can see real shiny stuff. But Danny's running into moisture right there.
Brad, traffic is coming up in front of these two. Who's going to have the advantage, upstairs or downstairs?
It all depends on when they get there, where the lap cars are running, obviously. Hopefully they're going to be running in the middle and they can both split them. But right there you see, look like Tyler Walker, I believe.
Yep, and Tyler on the bottom. Here comes Mark Kinzer. He's charging the working 5M. He's going to get around McMahon. We're going back to the front where the leaders are dealing with traffic, and Lasoski's first one in.
Now that was Mark Kinzer, 8th.
No, look at this. We've got Schaefer smoking
That's
up top in turn 4.
Bring out a yellow.
Oh, that is not what Lasoski wanted to see.
But Mark Kinzer up to 9th, who we just showed, come out of the B main and started last in this thing.
And how about Hillenberg? He started 19th. He's up to 5th.
Now, Jimmy Carr, you guys are in a great position. It sounds like you're set up for the long haul.
Yeah, we really wish that first start had it gone because we had them then. But as the race gets later, the fuel load's going to get off that thing. And every race we've been here this year, we've had a 30-0 on. And at the end of the race, it seems like nobody can run with us except we haven't won a race here yet.
Jimmy Carr likes to have a good time, and he can find humor even in a highly pressure-packed situation.
Boy, but what's Danny right now? He's just wishing they'd throw the checker flag on this thing. Just let me get through this. It's so much pressure, all these restarts. You don't want to make a mistake. You're up there leading, and the only way to go from here is either win it or back up, and that just devastates you.
Tyler Walker, a lap car between the dude and Slammin' Sammy. I guarantee you, Danny is sitting up in the seat with the belts as tight as they can go. Still working the bottom of the Beef Packers car, owned by Dennis Roth, who is here to watch his team in action.
And he's just telling himself, just go into one, don't overdrive the car, don't slip up and miss the groove, and he didn't.
Sammy has already gone around Walker, so there's no more lap traffic in front of them for quite a while. Here comes Andy Hillenberg. He has been flat flying. He is all the way up to about 4th position. He started like 19th. Back to the front, and Lasoski holds on. We are past the halfway point of the scheduled 30 laps to the $100,000 paycheck.
I think I heard Jimmy Carr, Dana Lasoski's crew chief, say something about a 30-0. That's the size of a left rear tire. I don't know whether he said they had one on. If they do, it surprises me because that takes stagger out of the race car, and to run the bottom of the racetrack, usually you need a little more stagger. Put a big left rear on you, run the top of the racetrack. Sammy battles back on the outside.
Onshield still runs in 3rd, then it's Hillenberg, Steve Kinzer, shots. Walker actually is a lap car, then Blaney Herrera and Mark Kinzer up to 10.
Boy, what a race. Neither one of these guys want to bobble too much.
It's like Danny moving up a little bit out there. How long is that bottom groove going to hang in there?
That's a good question. Generally, it doesn't last the whole race, and you'll have to move up, either up in the middle or try to run the cushion. Be interesting to see what happens if Sammy, there he got the left front up and kind of slid out a little bit. If Sammy gets by him on the top, it'd be interesting to see if Danny moves up there and tries to follow him.
Traffic in front of him, 10 laps to go here at the 38th Annual Amoco Knoxville Nationals.
You know, there's a board, scoreboard right there, and the drivers can see that going down the back straightaway. So Danny is well aware of what lap it is and who's behind him.
His father George, his mom Barbara, his wife Chris, their daughter Hope, and his new son Landon, all here in attendance, hoping that Danny can win finally at the Amoco Knoxville Nationals. Will it be tonight? He's never finished better than 2nd.
This isn't what Danny wants, to catch these lap cars in the corner. This guy right in front of him
is really holding him up.
Well, that lap car, the outside, Sammy had to move down. That helped Danny a little bit. But these lap cars right there, Danny had to move up in a groove he's not familiar with.
Shepard now in front of him in the 4. The white car. Danny blocks on Swindell. Oh, and I'm remembering Wednesday night. Look at this as they split around Shepard. Remember, again, on Wednesday night, they had a coming together almost down the front straightaway. And Danny said, I won't forget. I will hold off, and I will beat Sammy somewhere this week. I'll remind him of Wednesday night. Oh, Sammy with a problem coming off in turn 4. That gives Danny a whole bunch of room now.
Yeah, but look what happened to Danny. He went in behind this lap car. Had Sammy not about hit the wall, he would have passed for the lead there.
Amy Swindell, she's standing up. She cheers. Go, little blue car. Go, little blue car. That is her famous cheer, and you know she's seeing it right now.
Boy, what happened there? Sammy about hit the wall, and it looked like Dan Lasoski was going to be able to get away to a good cushion. He got behind the lap car, slid up in the middle of the racetrack, and spun his tires, and Sammy was right back on him again.
There's the Beef Packers crew watching. Gary Wright now. 5 laps to go as they come up around Gary Wright to lap him.
Again, Danny's got to get by him right here coming off. Oh, and look at this.
Sammy's going to get the lead as they come off at 2, and Danny picks up the front wheels. Now Sammy to the bottom and Danny upstairs. Oh, what a great battle the 38th Amoco Knoxville Nationals has become.
Okay, now
We're
look
into
at
the
this.
closing stages.
They switched. Sammy goes to the bottom. Danny's got to try the top. Oh, how devastating for Danny, though. Just got 5-lap signal to go and got behind Gary right there, the lap car a little bit, and let Sammy get on him. We got
White
the white
flag is out. The 38th annual Ameco Knoxville Nationals. Look at this! To the bottom, Danny Lasoski goes by Sammy Swindell. Will he win the Ameco Knoxville Nationals? The crowd is on their feet. They're going to tear this place apart. Jim Swindell is in front. Danny Lasoski has won the 38th annual Ameco Knoxville Nationals.
Looks like Sammy had a problem. Jack Hodgshield got second, I believe.
Is he ever proud? There will not be one person in this crowd not happy for the dude. He has finally done it. The winningest driver in the history of the Marion County Fairgrounds has finally won the Ameco Knoxville Nationals.
Ralph, do we need the oxygen again?
Oh, man, was that not a great race, Tony?
There is no bigger fan in this world than Ralph Shaheen of Danny Lasoski.
He ripped on me earlier, but I'll tell you what, he's my good little buddy. Way to go, dude!
He's going to be up all night long signing autographs.
What a great night for Danny the Dude Lasoski. His entire family here, his dad, George, his mom, Barbara, the entire grandstand is on their feet. They're all running out to the front straightaway. His wife, Chris, is here. There's Jimmy Carr. His mom and dad are here from Canada. Bobby Gerald is down.
The
Look at them all coming out.
Polish victory lap.
Polish victory lap. Danny Lasoski taking a page from the late, great Alan Kulwicki.
Wow. Suppose he had that planned, or that's just something he just came up with. All these years, maybe he said, I'm going to do this by winning Knoxville Nationals, turn this thing around.
The crowd on their feet for the dude. We're going to come back and talk to the winningest driver in the history of Knoxville Raceway, Danny Lasoski, in just a few minutes.
Oh, Ralph, it is absolutely pandemonium down here. Danny Lasoski, I've waited a long time. You've waited even longer. Congratulations. You are the Ameco Knoxville Nationals champ.
Thank you, God. This is great. Believe me. I'll tell you what, guys. Yes. I tell you what. I owe this all to my crew, Jimmy Carr, Mark Ellis, Brian Brown, and most of all, Dennis Roth for putting this team together. And without my father, my best friend, there's no way I could be here because he's been with me from day one, and I thank him all.
Tell us about the last lap, the coming off at 2. Absolutely unbelievable move.
Sammy got me, and I think he got into 1 a little heated. And if you missed the bottom a little bit, you slid out. Man, we did it. We did it.
What was going on in your mind at that point, though? I know you. You had to be fired up.
I was. When he got by me, it took everything I could do to keep him getting so excited and blowing it all. Like I thought, I didn't know how many laps were left, and I seen the white. I said, oh, my God, what are we going to do now? And he went in too hot. I slipped under him, made sure we covered the last lap, and tell you what, guys, thank TNN, thank all you guys. I love this. This is great. This is the greatest day of my life.
Congratulations, dude. You are the man.
From the 30th annual Ameco Knoxville Nationals, Danny Lasoski has pocketed $100,000 in the one trophy he had always coveted. Jack Hodenshield has finally made it back to the podium. He'll come home in second. Tyler Walker, Johnny Herrera, Stevie Smith in 8th. He came all the way from way back out of that
Mark
B.
Kinzer in 7th, too, came all the way from the back to the B.
How about the Mopar? Comes back in 12th. Skip Jackson's had a great season here running on a weekly basis. He'll come home in 20th. Tim Schaefer will finish 23rd. Well, what'd you think, Brad?
That's one thing about racing. There's one guy happy at the end of the night, and the rest of them are disappointed.
Well, for Dave Reef and Bobby Gerald, who did a great job down in the pits tonight, our good buddy Steve Evans over the Hall of Fame, and my pal Brad Doty up here, I'm Ralph Shaheen. The 38th annual Ameco Knoxville Nationals have come to a close. And for the one time he had always coveted, he had always craved it, Danny the Dude Lasoski can finally say he is the Ameco Knoxville Nationals champion.